G'day coppers, welcome back to the bush. In this episode of Lock Your Hubs 4-wheel driving, we'll be checking out DIY fire starters, whether it be this lint filled egg cup, orange peel, or even Doritos. We'll also be checking out how well they work in wind and damp conditions. So let's get into it. So firstly, let's have a look at what ignition sources we're using. First up is the magnesium strip, but we won't be using the magnesium from it. We'll just be using the ferrite rod to make sparks. Next up, the old reliable matches. Now, if that doesn't work, then our last port of call is the I don't really take no for an answer, and that is the butane torch, which is really my go-to, especially for damp wood. Rightio, so let's have a look at our candidates, or victims as it were. And our first unwilling participant is little lucifers. Now we're going to use these as a control, so it's just a commercial fire lighter, and we'll see how these work in comparison with others. So we're using kerosene, which is a petroleum product, and cork soaked in the kerosene. I'm going to weigh it down a bit just to make sure we fully soak as much kerosene into the cork as possible. Now number 4 is cotton balls and white petroleum jelly, commonly known as Vaseline. We'll show you how to put that together. Grab a couple of cotton balls, a little bit of Vaseline, and just work it into the cotton ball. That's basically all there is to it until the Vaseline's worked right into the cotton ball. And you put half a dozen of those in a tin. Now number 4 is going to be a little controversial. It's a packet of Doritos. Now some will say this is sacrilege, using food to light your fire, but then again, you can use the fire to cook bacon, so all things even out in the end. So number 5 is fatwood. Now, fatwood's not very well known or used in Australia, mainly because we don't have a lot of pine trees. Now, what fatwood is it's a pine tree that's been usually cut down, and in the base of the pine tree, in the stump that's left in the ground, all the resin from the roots and everywhere sort of congeals into the center of the stump that's left. And that's all the resin you can see inside that piece of wood there, and it makes it very flammable. So that's fatwood. And here, ladies and gents, we have is the internet's favourite, the old candle wax reduced in a double boiler lint egg carton combination. And by lint I mean this has come from my house, so it's primarily cat fur and female hair really. So let's pour it in, this candle wax, and see how we go. Now this is hotter than I was expecting. Alright, we'll leave that cool down for about an hour or so before we give that a red hot go. Well, number 7 is a bit left of field, and that's dried out orange peel. I think there's a bit of mandarin in there as well, but we'll give it a go and see how it works out. Now to round out our 8 willing participants is 2 bags in methylated spirits. Now methylated spirits is just dentured alcohol basically. It's 95% ethanol dentured with 5% methanol, so people don't drink it. So all we'll do is fill it up. And Matt, you'll be happy to know no Twinings Earl Grey was damaged or wasted in this process. Right now we'll just let them soak really. Now they're soaking, let's get on with the testing. Now first cab off the rank will be our commercially available fire starter. So we'll give it 3 goes and we'll see if we can get it lit. No, doesn't want to light. Okay. Let's try some matches. Now as you'd expect, that seems to work fine. And finally, the funnest tool of the bunch. Yeah, I didn't think that'd have a problem. Now on to the next one. Now number 2 is our corked soaked in kerosene. So I'll pull the bottom one out because that's probably been soaked more. Move that one out the road. And we're going to go with the sparker, see if we can get it to light up. Give it one more go. I thought that was going to go then. Okay. Kerosene doesn't seem flammable enough. Let's try with a match. And as you'd expect, up she goes with the match. Finally with the blowtorch, I don't think this is going to be an issue. Yep, beautiful. Now number 3 is the Vaseline covered cotton balls. So we'll give that a go. No luck there. What about matches? Yep, that's taken a flame. Not a big flame, not a great flame, but a flame nonetheless. Now finally, we'll try the blowtorch. I have high hopes of this one. There we go, as you'd expect, the blowtorch is working fine. And so are the Vaseline balls. Fairly easy to put out though. Now here's one I've been wanting to try. Doritos. A couple of those straight out the packet. I don't think it's going to work, but I'll give it a red hot crack anyway. Nothing there. Let's try some matches. Well, they're definitely flammable, but not overly flammable, I'd say. And they smell terrible. Okay, let's try our old friend the blowtorch. And that does work, but like I said, it's not great and it smells terrible. Now, number 5 is the fat wood, and you can see I've feathered up the edge here with a knife to give it a fighting chance. So let's give it a go. Not too much luck there. Let's give the matches a go. That seems to work all right. I wonder once the feathers go, if it's going to continue to burn. And that actually smells pretty good. Yep, that seems to have caught. I'm pretty happy with that. And you can actually see the resin starting to bubble to the surface, and that's what's actually catching fire. And finally, blowtorch. Well, I think that's going to set it going. As would be expected. Fat wood, I'm pretty impressed actually, except for the smoke coming off it. Smells good though. And now for number 6, our cat fur, dry lint special. Not easily ignitable with a flint. What about with matches? Yep, that seems to work. No problems there. And finally with the blowtorch. And as you'd expect, blowtorch works fine. Here's our left of field option, and that's the orange peel. Don't know about this one, but I've been proved wrong before. It's not lighting with a sparker. Let's try some matches. No, not really. Not working great. Let's try the blowtorch and see if we can encourage it. And that does work, but it's not fantastic. It does, however, light up. Now this is the one that was recommended to me by a mate named Mark. G'day Mark, if you're watching this one. So, it's Metho soaked tea bags. Better get the metho off my hands. That stuff's fairly flammable. See how we go with the sparker? Straight up. And It doesn't want to go out either. Sort of had a bit of a clean up. A bloke clean. Anyway, let's try with some matches now. I'm pretty sure this is going to light up. And again, it doesn't want to go out. Okay, now considering the results for the last two, I'm pretty confident the blowtorch is going to light it up. Yep, that didn't take too much at all. I'm pretty impressed, Mark, I must say. Rightio. But it's not just, does it work in ideal conditions? I mean, it's a mild day here in my backyard in Melbourne. Inevitably, when you're going to want to light a fire, it's going to be windy and it's going to be wet. So next up, we're going to check whether all these firelighters work with a bit of wind going past. Then I'll set up a fan for a consistent amount of air rushing past it, and we'll try light them up and see how we go. Now, probably not surprisingly, everything was able to be ignited by the blowtorch, and everything bar the orange peel was able to be ignited using matches. Now, when it came to the ferrite rod using sparks, only the metho-coated tea bags were able to be ignited. Okay, now for the wind test. Now, I've set up a bit of a fan just to the left of the screen. As you can see, it's blown around this fluff slash fur, no problems. So we've got a little bit of a breeze here. It's not exactly gale force, but yeah, it seems to be working all right. So now we have a bit of wind set up, consistent wind, importantly. Let's try starting up our control. No love there, so let's try some matches on it now. And that seems to have taken to it. Seems to be burning okay. No problem, so that's thumbs up for the matches. And finally, our friend the blowtorch. And I don't think there was any doubt that they'd set it going. Rightio, on to number two. Number two, of course, is our Kero-soaked cork. So let's have a go with a sparky. No love there. Let's try some matches. We'll call that a misfire. Oh, I might try that one more time. No, it doesn't seem to take to the Kero at all, which is a shame. I thought that one would go up. So let's try the burner. And that seems to be holding a flame fine, doesn't seem to want to go out or anything. So that one's good to go. And number three is our Vaseline covered cotton. So we'll give that a go with the sparks. No luck there. Let's try some matches. No, we'll give it one more crack with the matches. I think we'll give it one more shot. I thought it was going to go up then. No, no good with the matches either. Let's try the blowtorch. Wasn't that easy to light even with the blowtorch, but it seems to be holding the flame now okay. Number four being the Doritos. Whilst it mightn't be the best firelighter so far, it's certainly the most tasty. No hope there. Let's try some matches. No, I didn't think we'd have much hope there. We might not even get it lit with the blowtorch. Well, we can get it lit. Yeah, no, it seems to be holding a flame. And again, it smells absolutely terrible. Rightio. With the Doritos done, on to number five, which is fat wood. Now, just like last time with the fat wood, I've burred up the edge a little bit with a knife to give it an even chance of having a crack going. No good with a sparker. Let's try with a couple of matches. Oh, it almost took. Might give that one more go. No, doesn't seem to be working so well with the matches in the wind. Took a little bit to get going. Is it going to stay lit? No, it's not. No, as soon as those little bits and pieces that were feathered off lit up and burnt out to the stub, it seems to have gone out, which is a shame. Oh well, on to the next one. Now for the lint in the egg carton. The sparker. No hope with that. Let's try some matches. Doesn't seem to take with that either. So the blowtorch now. And that seems to be taking. Reasonably hard to light, but it seems to be repellent to the wind, which is good. Seems to be working fine. Now for our left of field, the orange peel. Now for number 7, the orange peel. What about some matches? Dodgy matches, let's try that again. No, I didn't think that one would light up. Let's try the blowtorch. Is it going to stay lit? No, unfortunately it didn't. We'll try to light it up again. Give it one more crack. Oh, it seems to be staying lit this time. It smells very citrusy. And it seems to be holding up to the wind reasonably well. Beauty, with that done, let's try the last cab off the rank, which is the tea bags and metho. Our best performer in static conditions. Let's see how it works in wind. And last but certainly not least in this case, number 8, our metho soaked tea bag. Not quite so easy to light this time. Let's try some matches. Now you mightn't be able to see that, but let me assure you, that is on fire. Because the alcohol burns fairly clear. See if we can get it to light up a match. There you go, so it lit up a match, so it's definitely on fire. See if we can put it out. Not so easy to put out. Okay, we'll see if we can light it up now with the blowtorch. Yeah, and as I thought, that's working fine with the blowtorch as well. So it seems our metho soaked tea bags are the best so far. But what about when stuff gets damp? I mean, usually when you want a fire, it's probably been drizzling. So our next step will be to sprinkle them down with a little bit of water and see how they fare under those conditions. So when we entered wind into the equation, everything except for the fat wood was able to be ignited with the blowtorch. And matches, nothing was able to be ignited bar the control, the commercial firelighter, and the tea bags. When it came to the sparks from the ferrite rod, nothing was able to be ignited in a decent stiff wind. And despite the fact that this has got weed kill written on it, it's actually not, it's just water. So we'll give that a bit of a spray, just like we're in the wet, and we'll try with a sparker. No good with a sparker. What about matches? No, no good with the matches. Finally, let's try the blowtorch. And the blowtorch gets it going. Now number 2, of course, is the Kerosene cork. Give that a squirt. And let's try with a sparker. No good with that. Let's give it a crack with a couple of matches. Nope, just seem to put it out. Let's try once more. Oh, I think that just about took a flame. We can't let it get that close and not try a third time. No, it's not going to take it. Oh, let's try the blowtorch. And as predicted, the blowtorch works fine. Now, number 3, of course, is the Vaseline cotton. Give that a squirt. Give it a crack with a sparker. No good there. Let's try some matches. No, we'll give it one more go. Just seems to be putting it out. No, no good. Finally, the blowtorch. And it has taken a flame. No problems. Right, now for our next smelly contestant, which will be the Doritos. I feel really bad about wasting these Doritos. Anyway, all in the name of science. No, no good there. I'm not holding up a lot of hope for the Doritos. We'll give that one more crack. No, that's not taking a flame. Well, it's lit. Again, it doesn't smell fantastic, but it is holding a flame. Let's put it out. Oh, the stench is incredible. I don't recommend that to anyone. Well, downwind anyway. And now for the fat wood. Firstly, with a sparky. Now let's try some matches. Not doing too well with the matches. I think I'll try it one more time. One last crack with the matches. Thought I almost had it then. No. Oh, doesn't seem to like wet. Doesn't seem to want to hold a flame. And we finally got it to hold a flame. Throws off a lot of black smoke though. Rightio. Let's get on to the next one. So we'll give it a quick spritz down. And now we'll try the sparker. No good there. Let's try some matches. Give it one more crack. No good? So let's try the blowtorch. Yep, and that's got it running, so beautiful. So here are our metho soaked tea bags. We'll give it a spritz. And let's try with a sparky. No good there. What about some matches? Yep, and that's actually taken a flame. Again, because it's mainly ethanol, you really can't see it, but I'll light up a match to show you that it's actually working. Beauty, let's put him out. Hard to put out. There we go. And of course, let's try with the burner. Yep, and that's taking a flame, no worries. Again, it's a very light colour flame that's hard to see in the daylight, but We'll see if we can get it to ignite a match. So it's obviously still lit up. Now that's all fine and well. We know some are better in wind and some are better in damp conditions. But how long are they going to burn for? And what temperature's the flame? Let's answer those questions. Now they do say sometimes it'll rain on your parade, and it certainly did for us. You can have a look at the bottom there, the blowtorch. It managed to light everything eventually, except for the orange peel. And with matches, the only thing we got lit up was the tea bags. We couldn't even ignite the control. And when it came to sparking using the ferrite rod, again, with the damp, nothing was able to be ignited. So it turns out my data logger and thermocouple probe doesn't like to be thrown into flame. Who would have guessed? Anyway, so we'll just do burn time with roughly about the same volumetric capacity. And I'll fast forward it so you don't have to watch it burn for 20 minutes or so. Off we go. And we're now burnt out. So that took 12 minutes and roughly 54 seconds to burn out. On to the next one. And here we go, cork soaked metho. I'll start the stopwatch. See how long she lasts. Cool, kept dropping my mobile phone. There we go. 9 minutes, 23 seconds for the Kerosene soaked cork. On to the next one. Now for our Vaseline soaked cotton balls, and they've all been individually impregnated with Vaseline. Let's start the stopwatch and get it lit up. Now for our tastiest willing participant after the Vas balls, coming right up is the Doritos. And we come in at 5 minutes 56 with a plane going through the background for the Vas balls. Rightio. Vas balls? Vaseline covered cotton balls. Yes, okay. On to the next one. Now, I've probably been a bit more generous in volume of Doritos, but I mean, who buys a small packet of these things anyway? Let's light them up and see how they go. Start the stopwatch. Light them up. There we go, Doritos. 3 minutes 52 seconds. Oh, I'm actually quite happy with that. I didn't think it'd burn for nearly as long. Rightio, on to the next one. And now for our best smelling unwilling participant, Fatwood. Okay, so the Fatwood has burnt itself out. We have a new class leader, but not by much. We went 12 minutes and 58, nearly 59 seconds. Only a few seconds more than the control. On to the next one. And now for the internet favourite, the dry lint egg carton combo. With wax, of course. There we go, 12 minutes and 5 seconds for the lint wax combo in the egg carton. Whilst it wasn't the longest duration, it certainly produced a lot of flame, and I'd class this one better than the Fatwood actually. The internet might be right with this one as well. On to the next one. Orange peel. And here's our left of field entry, second last, and probably will be least, the orange peel. Let's set it alight. And that's pretty much out now at 1:25. Not too flash, but in a pinch. So here's our MVP as far as ignition and wind resistance is concerned. But how does it go for duration? Let's find out. And we're out. The tea bag's burnt out in 5 minutes and 23 seconds. So looks like they're easy to ignite and they burn hot, but not for a long time. So let's have a look at the results. So when it came to burn duration, there were certainly a couple of eye openers there. So the control, as you'd expect, did really well, almost 13 minutes. And Cork, well, it was a little far behind, down to 9 minutes and 23. The Bass Cotton didn't exactly cover itself with glory at 5 minutes 56. And the Doritos, even though they're scrumptious, only 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Fatwood did really good as far as duration was concerned. It actually did the best at 12 minutes and 58 seconds, though it didn't exactly have a large flame throughout the burn duration. Now, the wax lint, 12 minutes and 5 seconds, so it's a minute behind the leader almost with Fatwood, but it produced a good flame almost right throughout the burn. Orange, as we expected, didn't do that flash in 1:25, and tea bags, well, almost half as good as the wax lint, or actually a little bit less, at 5 minutes and 23. Okay, so what do we think in the end? Well, here's our commercial firelighter used as control. It was reasonably easy to light. You could light it up with matches, no problems. It ran for nearly 13 minutes with a couple of those. The Cork with Kero, it was okay. It only ran for less than 9.5 minutes. The Bass Cotton was fairly forgettable. Doritos, well, they're obviously the tastiest. They also smell the worst when you're burning, and they didn't last very long, so that's pretty forgettable. Fatwood, I had high hopes for that. Now, it did burn for fairly long. It actually burned for the longest at 12 minutes and 58 seconds, but didn't really put out a lot of flame for the duration. And our Lint in Egg Carton, well, for me, 12 minutes and 5 seconds. Put out a lot of flame over the duration though, and it held the flame really well. Now, the orange peel, again, pretty forgettable. Now for tea bags and metho, it was by far the most easily ignitable, though the duration wasn't there. So what I think is, if you got dry wood and you've only got a ferrite rod to light it up, metho and tea bag is the go. But if you've got something better to light with, maybe matches or even a blowtorch, the old internet favourite, the Egg Carton Lint Wax combination, is the one to go for. Now guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give it the old thumbs up, and if you didn't, by all means, give it a thumbs down twice. Thanks guys, we'll see you in the next one. So our first cab off the rank will be our control, or our control.